Our plastic ocean. How much plastic is used?
Approximately 1 trillion single-use bags made from plastic are thrown away every year. In other words, this is 2 million plastic bags a minute. In 2016, people bought drinks in 480 billion plastic bottles. But 10 years earlier, the number was much lower, 300 billion. Every day, people from all over the world use more than 500,000 plastic straws. As for bubble wrap, the amount produced in just 1 year would be enough to cover our planet around the equator. And you'd be able to do this not once, but 10 times. 500 billion plastic cups are used and disposed of annually. Coffee lovers use 16 billion disposable coffee cups every year. These are estimated separately, as they're coated with a plastic that laminates their insides. The lids are also produced from plastic. More than 14 million tons of plastic foam, polystyrene, are manufactured every year. Americans get rid of 25 billion styrofoam cups in 1 year. When you order takeout, remember this number, 269,000. This is how much takeout plastic waste in tons has already entered the world's ocean.
What is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch?
On its mission to solve this problem, the Ocean Cleanup just published the most advanced research ever on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, the largest accumulation zone of ocean plastic on the planet. Scientists have been studying this area since the 1970s. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch measures 1.6 million square kilometers. That is 3 times the size of France. The patch contains 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic, which equals 250 pieces for every human in the world. The total mass amounts to 80,000 tons, 4 to 16 times more than previous estimates. 92% of this mass is made up of the larger objects, all of which are destined to fragment into dangerous microplastics over the next few decades, if left under the effect of sun and waves. And because the findings show that pollution in the patch is increasing exponentially, the plastic is unlikely to go away by itself. These results paint a new picture of the problem and provide a baseline for the cleanup of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
How does plastic affect marine life?
Plastic is already proving fatal for some marine creatures.
This bird has died slowly. There's no fat remaining.
These are fulmars that have been found dead on the beach. The post-mortem on the stomach isn't for the squeamish.
There's quite a bit of stuff in here. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll see. So you can see there's a lot of plastic in here.
Goodness me. It is just full of plastic.
Yeah, so this gizzard is basically full of plastic.
With so much plastic blocking its system, the bird wouldn't have felt hungry and probably starved to death.
It's suffering from our mistakes, and it's a disgrace for mankind, I think, that you find this in animals.
Cleaned and carefully laid out, this is the inventory of the bird's gizzard. 18 pieces of plastic weighing 0.5 gram. Scaled up to a human, that's a lunchbox of trash.
How will plastic affect our health?
the exact problem of plastic in ocean is this. Now you come to the plastic graveyard here in the ocean.
The washed-up remains of a throwaway society.
Now you see the enormity of the problem.
This isn't litter that's been dropped on the beach. It's come in from the sea, recklessly thrown away, distributed on the currents, and then swept ashore. Tiny pieces are called microplastic. It's eaten by sea creatures and ends up in our food.
This portion of microcyst contains about 90 particles of plastic.
This scientist carried out the first comprehensive risk assessment shown exclusively to Sky News, which suggests that the microplastic can be absorbed into our bloodstream. His research shows that by the end of the century, as many as 4,000 tiny fragments a year could build up in the body.
I've asked many physicians, colleagues, professors, and so on, what could microplastic do when it gets into our blood system? And the blunt answer was, we don't know. So we don't know, but in principle they could accumulate. What I think they could do, what was suggested by physicians, is that perhaps they could accumulate around joints or certain types of tissue and cause inflammation there.
I would not like my son to have this in his stomach.
Our waste, recklessly disposed of, is in the ocean food chain, and it's coming back to haunt us.
The ocean cleanup. How can we stop ocean plastic pollution?
Life and how much harm the plastic is doing to it. So in designing the system, we've taken great care not to have any adverse effect on the wildlife that's out there. Our system is not propelled at all, apart from the natural forces of the ocean. It is propelled by the forces of nature. It is designed to be a passive cleaning up system.
And I think it's very important to understand that we need to stop putting plastic in the ocean. So plastic are being released in the ocean and they basically move with currents, with wind and wave. Well, I think they can start by reducing the use of plastic, particularly single-use plastic. I think is one big topic, and also I think that cleanup matters. You know, anytime you go to the beach, to rivers, forests, in natural environments, if you find trash, it's always good to just pick it up and put it in the bin, right?
Our System 1 is a beta type version. It's the minimum viable product, and it actually works. So it is the intent to start cleaning up, but we want to learn from it for this first year of operation and collect a lot of valuable information, which will prove the concept and will give us enough information so that we can implement it in a redesign in the next generation of cleanup system, which should be even bigger and better and more productive. We intend to scale up, and we need a fleet of about 60 of those types of systems. We're in a bit of a hurry because we do see the risk of the plastic that's currently out there breaking down into smaller pieces, which will cause even more harm. So we really want to get as much out, now that it's still big, as soon as we can. So we do have some ambitious plans.
So, of course, the next few months are going to be super tense. This is an exciting moment, but of course the moment we're looking most forward to is to bring this first plastic back to shore. It's, you know, because that means that it's proven technology, and that's what we hope to achieve with this first system. So the idea is that we take the plastic back to land, and we work together with our recycling partners. And the idea is that we can process that plastic and turn it into very nice, desirable products that are durable, designed to not end up back into the oceans. And by selling those, we actually hope to help fund the cleanup and fund the operation of the cleanup system. So next few months, I'll be really obsessively looking at the data that's coming in from the vessel, from the data streams, from the cleanup system, which will hopefully then allow us to catch the first plastic and bring it to land.
Interviews. So what do you think about plastic pollution?
Plastic pollution to me is really bad but I think we can solve this problem by eliminating the plastic we already have just floating around and just being litter everywhere. So we would have to do that by having everyone pick it up, obviously, and then we would have to stop making pollution by recycling and keeping up after our own trash. So that would help solve plastic pollution in my eyes. I think also plastic pollution is just really bad because like the plastic degrades and it's polluting the ocean in ways that we didn't even think it would. So people should buy flasks, metal straws, stuff like that, just so we don't have to be making stuff. The lower the demand, the more that the companies just like won't be making it. That's how I see it. Thank you.
So what do you think about plastic pollution?
I think plastic pollution is bad, but it's been around for a long time, so we could have found a solution a long time ago, but it's bad.
How would you reduce plastic pollution?
Some ways to reduce plastic pollution would be like using our grocery bags and like taking our own stuff instead of buying bags at the grocery stores. Or if you do use plastic bags, then make sure that you're disposing of them the correct way instead of just throwing them away.
So what do you think about plastic pollution?
I think plastic pollution endangers our waters and our wildlife and our coral reef because we see a lot of videos of like turtles swallowing plastics and it's getting in their intestines and their digestive system. And a lot of birds and fish are getting caught up in nets. And I think it damages the water for the coral reefs and the fish that eat off of the coral reef.
What do you think about plastic pollution?
I think it's bad because I cannot go fishing.
So what do you think about plastic pollution?
I think that plastic pollution is very dangerous, especially to our environment and more so to our marine life because majority of the plastic pollution goes into the ocean and that's their home and it really can hurt them and even kill them.
The end.